Today on episode 251 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, a new team builder, our College Hoops Corner, and a TCF Top 3 of March Madness Legends. Let's roll. Hello and welcome back to Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Today is episode 251. We are back in the content cave for the second week in a row. Make sure to follow us on X at typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook and Instagram. Give those pages a like. If you're on TikTok, so are we at Typical Chicago Fan. I'm posting a sports history, Illinois, Chicago video every day, so make sure you check us out on TikTok as well. Head to YouTube for all of our content in video form. Make sure you subscribe there wherever you get your podcasts. We are there as well, so subscribe, rate, review, 5 stars. Wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF. And, of course, sitting right next to me is Zach at ZLiliaTCF. Zach, I hate to jump the gun here, but it might be spring.
I hope so. We'll get more into what the weather's kind of been like in my sinker. But, yes, we are rapidly approaching spring. It is technically spring, but on the first day of spring this year, we got snow.
Yes.
That's Illinois weather
Not
for
great.
you. And also, we're doing a different style of podcast.
Yeah, we're back
now.
to OBS.
OBS for
back
now.
to the roots.
With being able to do it in person now, we're going to work on this. It's going to change every week. I'm going to get better and better at it.
It's like riding a bicycle.
Yeah, for now, it's kind of, I don't know how to bold things.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it
So
out.
check back next week to see the improvements that Zach's made in the last week.
But that'll give you a reason to watch the YouTube because it's going to get better and better. And it's also cool things you can do with it. We have TCF in the one corner. We got our sponsor Connect Roaster in the corner. We got our Twitter names above us, the episode below us, and we'll have the segments to Boomy's left. Yes.
Yeah, this side.
His left,
Over,
your right.
Right down here.
So
if you're watching on YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube, go subscribe.
Yes. So we're going to be doing that. It'll get better and better, and it'll give you a reason to watch the podcast on YouTube. And if you have any ideas or ways of fixing it, let us know.
Reach out.
If you're an OBS master,
Yep.
Because some of the YouTube videos are old and they update it way too much.
Well, I think we were looking at the stuff earlier, and our last time we used OBS
2021,
was 4 years ago.
which is when we were in Denver, Colorado, or
All-Star break.
Where were we actually?
We were
In the mountains.
Yeah, we were up north of Vail.
Boomy's hair was down to his shoulders.
About right here.
And I was a lot thinner. So, but yes, we're doing it a different way. But, yes, spring is here. Golf is almost upon us. Outside weather, especially for Boomy. Yeah, he loves being outside.
Yeah, big outdoorsy guy, yeah.
I'm not as much outdoors.
I'm really not. I just like mowing my yard. That's about it.
Oh, that's the best part of spring, I honestly think. If we did TCF top 3 of
We have,
things to
and
do
we
in
will,
spring,
so don't jump the gun here.
yeah, it's mowing the lawn because
It's probably next week's. If I
nothing
had to.
better, and especially for Boomy, who is a dad.
Yeah.
It kind of gets you away from everything.
Yeah, nice little pop the headphones in and get the yard work done. I love it. So.
And Boomy's got a large yard.
Yeah, it's not small.
Unlike mine, which it only takes not that long. Boomy actually has to put a little bit of work into his.
It's usually a 2 to 3 hour job.
Yeah, which isn't
But
bad.
I enjoy it, so it's all that matters.
Yes.
Let's hop into things. As always, we have sinkers and floaters. And my sinker today is, I don't even know, it's not an app, but it's a game. It's on the internet. It's not like you can't download it, but it's called Daily Walk Off. And it's a basketball, like, what's it, Wordle? You remember Wordle?
Yeah.
So it's like
The one where you get like a letter.
I
then
did
you gotta-
listen. I'm not the guy to ask about Wordle. I have no idea. I've never played it. But it's a baseball game, Wordle style. So it'll give you like a bunch of categories. If you haven't tried it, guys,
okay.
go to it, try it. Me, my dad, and brother. I don't know if my brother's still doing it. My dad does it. But you build a streak. And I went 42 days in a row. And the reason it's my sinker is I forgot to do it on Sunday. So my 42-day streak is
Also,
over.
if you don't do it a day, it just your streak's done.
Yep.
Oh, that's
how a
kinda
streak
dumb.
works.
I understand that, but it should be if you do it and fail, that's when the streak should end.
I don't disagree.
But,
so that was tough to see that
Maybe
come
you can
to
get
an
in
end.
contact with somebody and they can help you get your streak back.
I-
What's the other one that people were doing?
Immaculate
during
Grid.
COVID? Yeah, okay.
Also, I do Immaculate Grid, and I've done every one. And then we were golfing last summer. We were up north of Dixon, and my phone was being weird because I didn't have service. And I was trying to get something to work, and a bunch of stuff wasn't working. It said like clear all like cookies, cache. I didn't know that when you cleared that, I lost all my Immaculate Grid progress. So I have gone back.
First world problems for us.
Very much so. I have gone back. I have it. It's probably the most used. So yep, second use thing on my Google Chrome here, next to Today in History, which is the TikTok page. I have completed, I've got my stats right here. And this is, like I said, this is since I've lost everything. 857 grids.
That's pretty
average
insane.
score of a 7.1 and a rarity of 378. But I'm not caught up. I will make a big
It's
deal out of it.
almost 3 years.
Yeah, but you can go back on Immaculate Grid and do old ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm getting there.
I know
I'm getting
it
there.
became big during COVID.
Yes.
Is it an app now?
Nope.
Or is it
it's
still a website?
It's still just a website.
Go to Safari.
The Immaculate Grids are through like Basketball Reference, Baseball Reference, Football. They use their databases for everything. So
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty sweet. If you haven't tried Daily Walk Off or any of the Immaculate Grids, get on it now. It's super fun. I really enjoy it.
If you know your baseball players.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, I've tried it. I'm not that good at it. And it
Seeing
can be
my
very
dad,
frustrating.
who does Daily Walk Off every day, and it probably has a streak way better than mine. He won't do Immaculate Grid. He doesn't like it the way I do. So
He's also the king of trivia crack.
that is true.
He may
is
be the
keeping
best
that
trivia
app
crack
alive.
player of all time.
He is keeping that app
If
alive.
you look at his stats, he may be a Hall of Famer.
He would be. Yes.
My sinker is the wind.
Yeah.
This time of year, that wind, I mean, it is unbelievable. It's been on my sinker before. I don't really care. But it's just unbelievable how it can ruin a day. Today
is
was actually
so
a
bad.
nice day, but the wind, you go outside and it's just awful. You don't want to do anything. It makes you tired.
Wind burn.
Yeah.
Not
when,
fun.
When you're golfing, it doesn't help your game because...
Or it does, depending on the hole.
I
though.
guess. But I have enough
Instead of hitting
prob-
at 305, I can get it like 318.
But the problem is when it's left to right is when
Oh,
it's bad
yeah.
because I have enough problems trying to keep the ball straight.
Yeah.
And with the wind, it doesn't help anything. But this time of year, it just seems like every day is windy. I don't know what it is.
Gotta love spring.
You
Man.
gotta love spring, Illinois, whatever. But the wind is just terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you look at the weather, it's like, oh, it's supposed to be 60 degrees with 20 to 30 mile per hour winds every day.
And like our house, I mean, we have no wind block out here. And we have old windows, so they just kind of make a lot of noise.
Yeah. For me,
Luckily,
I
I sleep like a rock.
I
My
guess I
poor
don't
wife.
notice as much. But when I do notice it, then you know it's windy in town.
And you
because-
know, like, it's different when you come out here and just walk in from where you park here, and you'll walk in and be like, holy cow, it's windy. That's when you know when you're away from the wind block and all that good stuff. So.
Yeah, you just, when you're here, you know it's windy.
Oh, yeah. Yep, you'll feel it, and you'll hear it through the windows. My floater is a Twitter X page called Fat Kid Deals, and I think I've talked about Fat Kid Deals over the last 7 years. But they post like Amazon links with deals and stuff, and I don't know if they're just tapped into my brain. But dude, I have had an Amazon package like every day for the last 2 weeks.
For a while there, I was getting multiple Twitter DMs from Boomy a day of deals.
Oh yeah.
But they are amazing deals.
Like
You
I got
can't
this
pass
cup
them out.
for $8.
You can't beat that.
It's like a $40 cup.
And you know, I think you said something that you got for Roman.
Oh, dude, I've gotten. He doesn't know it yet, but his birthday present was like $160. I got it on sale for $37.
So how does it work? Is it like a website that just resells
So,
stuff,
no,
or is it
it's-
like just find deals for you?
I think it's done like, and I don't want to speak out of turn here, but I think there's some sort of bot setup that finds these deals,
So,
and
like,
then they tweet out the promotion
It's
code.
different websites you go. You're not going to the
No,
same
it's a
website.
Twitter page, and it
But-
takes you to the Amazon account.
But it's everything from Amazon.
Yes.
I didn't know if it took you to different websites.
There are sometimes, like I got a pair of shoes. It'll take you to Nike if Nike's got a deal going on, or Adidas. But for the most part, I'd say like 95% of it is Amazon.
Okay,
links,
I just
so.
didn't know if it was different websites or different places to buy stuff.
Yep. And I will say they have like, you know how you can do like Twitter subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
For $1 a month, I subscribe to Fat Kid Deals. So you get like, I got one of those block power banks.
Yeah.
For like $26.
Well, they gotta make money somehow. So you
$1
are helping
a
them.
month?
You're
That's
helping them.
$12 a year.
Yeah,
all
to
day.
save probably 150 to 200 bucks,
yeah.
maybe a month.
I mean, I saved like 120 just on
it
that.
saves you, but maybe doesn't save
Oh
you.
yeah, there's a bunch of useless
It's stuff that you
crap I
probably
buy.
wouldn't have bought, but you're going to buy.
Yeah.
But still, it's
It's
nice
sweet.
to be able to say I got a deal.
Exactly.
Nothing's better than saying, "Oh, I got that on sale."
I'm a sucker for a sale.
Yeah, because if you say I paid full price, then you're like, well, maybe I should get it, maybe I shouldn't. If you say it's a deal, you're definitely going to buy it.
Yes, exactly.
My floater is golf. It's golf season.
It is.
It's that time
I
of year.
feel like this may have been your sinker for like the last 3 weeks, but that's okay.
Sinker?
Or floater.
No, I haven't been talking about golf because, first of all, we haven't been doing podcasts.
That's true.
Since it's been warm. And I'm so excited. For me, I don't.
This might be the year you beat me.
I don't do much, so I usually spend most of my time after work golfing. You go out, get the cart, golf, maybe 9 holes or something.
Yeah. 7 holes, whatever you can get in.
Yeah, but it's that time of year when it stays light out until 7, 8 o'clock at night. It's that beautiful time when you can go golfing almost until it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
And then you go home, go to bed.
You're tired.
Yeah, you're tired. But it's just, for me, it gives me something to do instead of sitting around the house. You always know that unless it's raining or crappy out, that you have something to do after work, not just going home.
Yeah, exactly.
For Boomy, it's kind of a luxury to go golfing sometimes. It's not as easy to get out nowadays.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's one of those, like, you know, like you even said, like if you can get out and play 5 holes.
Yeah.
Like it's still 5
That's the
holes
nice thing
is
about
5
having a
holes.
membership.
Yep.
Is you don't have to pay for whatever amount and not be able to finish it.
Exactly.
You can go, even if you golf 2 holes or something like that, or you just go out there and hit some golf balls.
Putt.
It doesn't matter. It just seems like the seasonal depression slowly starts to go away.
You can feel it leaving your
once
body.
you can get outside and do stuff instead of having to go home, sit around, and it be dark by 4 o'clock at night.
That is true. It's a beautiful time of year. Can't wait. I'm going to get out and go take the little man and go do some disc golfing here pretty soon.
Yeah,
because it's
our
quicker.
local disc golf in Mendota is adding on.
Yep.
It's supposed to be a full 18-hole golf course,
We're pumped.
which may not be good for my arm
Yeah.
because it's tough, but it's fun to have that luxury of it being right there.
Exactly.
I'm saying
And you can
luxury a
play
lot now.
18 holes in an hour.
Luxury is my new word of the day.
I guess so. Did you get a word of the day, Kevin?
I guess. But it's nice to just have that also in town. Mendota has a lot of new things. They got pickleball that you can also go do. I guess there's always been a park. Yeah. But you can go for a walk
Parks
around
have
the
gotten
lake.
nicer. Basketball courts have gotten better.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to. I know lots of people who like to go disc golfing, and hopefully that brings more people into Mendota because they're putting a lot of work into making. I think it's adding 9 more holes, or
I think so.
At least 9 or 10.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, if you
we'll get a full review.
Yeah, once it's done, maybe we'll do a little video on it.
Love it. Let's move on. We've got our TCF Sports Minute. We're going to start with the bad. The Blackhawks, 21, 41, and 9. They are at 51 points, second worst in the NHL. They are only ahead of San Jose. Unfortunately, they're ahead by 4 points. Probably not going to reach the bottom.
Won last night.
Yeah, I mean, they're just not good. It's just simple as that. There's not a whole lot to talk about other than, I think, Pat Maroon retiring.
Yeah, he's retiring at the end of the season. Bedard's playing really well, which is awesome to see. And we'll get into the Bulls, too. Neither of our teams know how to lose correctly.
Stinking losing.
We know how to be just bad enough for it not to matter.
Yep. Exactly.
And I don't know how the NHL draft works. Can you get the number 1 pick multiple years?
I think there's like a 3-year limit.
Okay, so we can't have the number 1 pick.
No. You can't get it twice in 3 years or 5 years or something like that.
Well, we already had the 1 pick 2 years ago.
Yeah, it might be 5 years.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe it doesn't really matter.
No, we need Maddie back for our hockey talk.
But either way, Blackhawks bad. But it's nice to see Bedard playing well, and it's kind of cool too. And Pat Maroon will have like a little bit of a send off to end the season.
Yeah, I saw he got a standing ovation in St. Louis.
Yeah, we don't like St. Louis, but that is where he played. I think he's from there too.
Won a cup there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and I mean it's winding down. I mean the Blackhawks have now played 71 games, so they're right around 10 games left. I mean it's winding down. It's probably time for.
And as with the Blackhawks, Bulls, White Sox, we don't know if anyone's actually watched them play this year.
Yep, I haven't.
No, because CHSN is still only like on a Fubo which
Yeah.
I have, and I don't think a lot of people have. And it's just that's got to be very annoying for a lot of Chicago fans.
I'm very glad I didn't spend the $20 a month to watch the Blackhawks and the Bulls this year.
No. And I don't know how many people will spend it on the White Sox either.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, what a
it may be cheaper just to go to the game than it would be to actually stream their service.
Speaking of the Bulls, they are at 31-40. They have moved into the 9 seed, which I think they were at last week. But we talked about it earlier. Like, they stink at losing. They won another game. They beat the Lakers.
And they're in the 9th seed now.
Yep. And as of right now, they are 2 games out of the 8 seed.
So there's probably no chance of them missing the playoffs at this point. And if they make the playoffs, they're going to get destroyed.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, at the end of the day, they scored 146 points against the Lakers.
They've been playing a lot better since the Zach LaVine trade.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
Montes is playing really well. Josh Giddey almost had a quadruple double. He was 2 steals away from the quadruple double. Kobe White's been playing really well.
Eastern Conference Player of the Week.
Yeah. So as much as me and my dad were having the conversation of, yes, we want them to lose, but also what are they going to gain from losing?
Yes, exactly.
They're most likely, they can't be bad enough for the number 1 pick.
Yeah, they'd have to have some weird stuff.
And the draft isn't really like that deep that it's going to matter.
You want either 1 or 2.
Yeah,
and that's really it.
And they're not that bad. And at least maybe get a little fun watching the play-ins and stuff like that. The problem is they're not going to get any home games. With having the 9th seed, they're not even going to have the play-in home games, which would make Jerry Reinsdorf some more money.
Yep.
But it's fun to watch.
Now, I'll say this. This is kind of how you know how well they've been playing. They play Denver tonight. They are only 2.5-point dogs.
Yeah.
Against Denver. That's telling you how well they're... Yeah.
In Denver. And then Thursday night, they play the Lakers at home.
Yeah.
So that's a big game. That's one of those ones that is usually packed.
Yep.
LeBron is back. But they beat the Lakers with Luka, with LeBron, by, I think, what was it, 30?
146 to 115.
I think it was
31.
the largest amount they beat the Lakers by ever.
Yeah. Oh, that would make sense.
And it's not like they played the Lakers without LeBron, without Luka. And I don't know if it's pretty much all over the Chicago Bulls social media. Montes had an awesome move on Luka.
Took him baseline.
And Montes is one of those players that we got later in the draft, and look what he's become.
Big fan.
It's maybe the same thing that can happen this year.
100%.
And I know it might be crazy. Who knows if Cooper Flagg's for sure going to come out? You think he is, but he may not.
The best thing I saw, though, was Wizards fans being like, buddy, we're going to be terrible again next year, so we can do this all over again.
That's the worst part with the number 1 pick. If you get the number 1 pick, usually you're not like 1 player away from being the best team.
Right.
That's why, like, when the Bears had the number 1 pick, it was kind of crazy because they were...
Just had to pigeonhole the Bears in here.
I had to. Technically, they were like the 9th or 10th.
Yeah.
They weren't like the best. Or the worst, I mean.
Well, but in the same breath, like, you've seen every number 1. Like, LeBron went to Cleveland. Cleveland was awful. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like, that's just how it works.
LeBron made that team better. Unbelievable. That's why you got to... NBA fans, don't take for granted these next few years with LeBron. Because once he's gone, it's going to be... We may not see a player like that ever again.
Yeah, it's going to be few and far between.
Especially a player that plays this long.
Yeah.
40. He's played, 22 years as of now?
Yeah, I think this is his 22nd season. That's insane.
To be healthy enough to play that long.
Oh, yeah.
I know you can say whatever, like the load management, blah, blah, blah.
The guys,
He's still playing a long time. There's not a lot of guys who play that long. He's outlasted Carmelo by a long time.
Yeah.
He may outlast Kevin Durant.
D-Wade, Bosh, all those guys from his class.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about that. Moving on to baseball, the Cubs open up the season Thursday at the Diamondbacks. Don't throw first pitch until 9:10 p.m., which I like a lot.
Yeah, which is nice.
Background.
You don't have to worry about watching in the middle of the day.
Exactly.
And I think I did see something here. The White Sox have, we'll get into the White Sox, sorry, but they have 0 televised games on national television.
They should have 0.
That's insane, though, that happened. I think the Cubs are like maybe 5th or 6th most. But yeah, the Cubs, we're going to have to see what their starting lineup is for the first day. I don't know if Nico is going to be available or not. Matt Shaw, where he's going to play. And unfortunately, we're already starting the season 0-2, which I think sucks. But it's also going to be a very tough first month for the Chicago Cubs. They start out in Arizona, and then I think they play the Dodgers within there.
Yeah,
and stuff
then
like
they
that.
go to open up that stadium in Sacramento that the A's are playing.
Yeah, Boomy was telling me they have 4 opening days when it's all said and done. They had Tokyo, they'll have 2 on the road and 1 at home, which Friday 120 game.
Gotta love
I think it's like the second time in 20 years the Cubs have had a actual opening day at home at 120.
On a Friday.
That'd be buzzing.
Beautiful.
Let's just hope they have a good record because, like I said, 0-2.
They're going to be okay. Everybody
sucks.
just strap in. They're going to be fine. I know I've
long
had to talk
season.
you off a ledge the last couple days.
It's not that. It's just the way it happened.
Yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. It's a 162-game season. We got 160 left.
And also, shout out to my Uncle Brian. He's been to all of the home spring training games. I think the last one's either today or tomorrow.
I think it's, yeah.
I think they play till Wednesday.
Yep.
So, unfortunately, his time will be coming to an end.
Yeah, he'll be home
there
here
in
soon.
Arizona.
He might even be home before this episode, before he watches this episode. He's usually a couple days late when he gets the YouTube notification. But the White Sox, they open up the season at home. Going to be not the warmest day, but they host the Angels at 3:10 on Thursday. So,
yeah, that's 2 not very good teams.
yeah,
But
you're being very nice about that.
But
these are 2
you always gotta love that
bottom
opening day feel, especially when it's the actual opening day and it's not like with the Cubs. It's gonna be like 2 weeks after the fact.
Yeah.
But they always have a good time out there in the parking lot.
Oh yeah.
Get the tailgate, unlike the
A
Cubs.
little $12 ticket.
Yeah. It's probably gonna be the most expensive ticket of the season, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
And good food. I mean, if you haven't seen their new lineup of food, check it out.
Me and Zach are literally going to go to a Sox game this year just to eat the food.
If you don't want to actually watch the game, you can buy a ticket for cheap and just get good food.
Yeah. You don't even have to watch a pitch. Just walk around and eat.
No, and for White Sox fans, you'd hope they can't be worse than last year.
There's just no way.
No. And hopefully they'll bring up some guys.
Yep.
And you'll have some fun
Lots
throughout
of
the season.
prospects.
Luis Robert hit a big-time home run today, so hopefully he keeps that moving.
Now, hopefully, he can do that 3 times a game for 162 games, and they might be competitive.
Yeah, I don't know what they can do with that. But, yeah, opening day Thursday. Going to be chilly, but that's how opening day should be.
Yes, I agree. It's got to have a little bite in the air.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And like I said, it's nice to always be that first day.
Yep.
I'm actually surprised they wouldn't just do it in Anaheim.
Yeah. Big
I
time.
don't know why they would plan that because this time of year in Chicago is very hit and miss. But hey, you want some of those games where you got everyone bundled up
Exactly.
or not bundled up. Depends on how long you spend in the parking lot.
That's true. Reminds me of opening day '96. The old man took me to Cubs opening day in my winter coat.
I know me and Boomy went. How long ago was that?
That was
to
probably
the Cubs?
7 or 8 years ago now.
Yeah, I can't.
Maybe.
Every time
2019 maybe.
Every time we talk about things that, like, we got the thing that said 2021, time has just gone way too fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's hard to argue with.
Let's hope the baseball season doesn't go by too fast. The thing about baseball, every day, so you always have something to watch.
Perfect background sport. I've said it once. I'll say it a million times.
And like I said, the Cubs, I think, first 3 games are most likely going to be at 9-10 or like 4-10.
Yep.
So there will be something maybe you go to bed to.
That's the plan. If you go to bed to the Cubs, there's one thing you should be waking up to in the morning, though. That's our friends over at Connect Roasters Coffee. So make sure you check them out. I promise they have the best coffee around that you're going to find. You can't get any better. Ian Happ drinks it. Guy wins gold gloves. He's not drinking Folgers. He's drinking Connect Roasters. So make sure you go to their website, connectroasters.com. You can find them on X at Connect Roasters. Get yourself over to Bourbonnais, to the storefront, and I promise, go enjoy yourself some Connect Roasters coffee. You will not be disappointed.
And if I remember right, they usually sell it at the Obvious Shirts store, which will be popping during the Cubs season. So if you want to go in there, there's usually some in there. I could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong.
Either way, go to the website, get yourself some coffee.
Or if you are in
Bourbonnais,
like you said, the storefront, nothing's better than a nice little coffee spot.
Can't go wrong. So as always, shout out to our friends over at Connect Roasters. We've got ourselves a new team builder. Found this one online. 1996 was a phenomenal year for movies. Maybe not as good as 94, but it's up there. So we can only save 3 of these movies. The ones we don't save are going to be gone forever. You need to go over to YouTube because this is on the screen. Zach's got it pulled up right here. But I will go through as many of these as I can. We've got the original Scream, Primal Fear, Mission Impossible, 101 Dalmatians, Fargo, Jerry Maguire, The Craft, Space Jam, Transpotting, Romeo and Juliet, Independence Day, Matilda, Happy Gilmore, Twisters, The Cable Guy, Black Sheep, Kingpin, I can't even see what that one is, Mars Attacks, Jingle All the Way, and Beavis and Butthead Do America. So, Zach, can I go first?
You can go first.
All right. Fargo, number 1. That movie is phenomenal. If you have not watched Fargo, I don't know what you're doing.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's your homework this week. Go watch Fargo. I know you don't. We established you're a YouTube kid, but you got to watch Fargo.
I'll take 2 now.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
I'll take Happy Gilmore and Black Sheep.
Good choice.
That's an amazing movie.
I knew you were going to do that. This is what I get for being nice. All right. I will go Scream. I love horror movies. The original Scream was phenomenal.
You will not catch me watching a scary movie.
You're a weenie.
I am. That's fine. You can call me whatever you want. I don't want to be scared.
Gotta live a little bit, Zachary. All right, this is tough. My 3rd round choice. Do I take the one that I think... I might have to play a little offense here. Because there's only one I think you're going to take here. I will go... Yeah, I'll give it to you since I'm such a nice guy. The Cable Guy. Jim Carrey is phenomenal in just about everything he makes. The Cable Guy is not my favorite Jim Carrey movie, but it's up there. It is certainly up there, so I will take Jim Carrey.
I'll take Space Jam.
I know
Easily going to take Space Jam. Also, Kingpin would have been my next option.
So that would be your 4th pick. Let's go 5 here. I'll take... it's a toss-up. I'll go Beavis and Butthead Do America. Such a stupid movie, but so funny.
And you want more?
That's 5 for me.
Oh, that's 5 for you? I thought
right?
No, you want to pick 4.
Oh, and then I will also take... I haven't even heard of most. Oh, Primal Fear. Primal Fear is very good.
I haven't seen a lot of these movies, so I'm going to have to go with 101 Dalmatians.
Right. I was thinking you were going to take Jingle All the Way.
I'm not a big fan of that movie, honestly.
Disagree. Jingle All the Way is great.
And this was actually the year after I was born, so I haven't seen a ton of these movies. I have seen Twister. Maybe it's the reason I'm scared of tornadoes.
Movie stinks.
They also just remade it not too long ago, which why would you ever remake that movie?
I don't know. They seem to love it. There was some very handsome guy in it that was all over TikTok. So
that happens in every movie. There has to be a handsome guy in every movie.
How have we not gotten jobs?
Well, you know.
We're handsome guys.
The only thing we can't do is remember lines. We have the looks. We can't remember the lines.
Yeah, bad memories.
Yeah, that's why we're not movie stars.
That is true. That's the only reason. Let's get to the reason that we had the weekend that we did. It's our time for our College Hoops Corner. We're going to recap and preview the NCAA Tournament. We had the 1st and 2nd rounds, the round of 64, the round of 32. Look ahead to the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8. Obviously, the big talk this week, Zach, is very, very few upsets.
What did I say?
Chalk. I hate to admit it.
What did I
Zach
say?
was right.
Boomy hated to admit this, but chalk was what happened. Colorado State was about 1 second away from being the highest seed left.
Got it, Zach.
I don't know. Is there a 10 seed?
So the matchups we have left, Auburn and Michigan.
1-5.
Ole Miss and Michigan State.
Which is 6-2.
6-2. Florida and Maryland, 1-4.
Oh, Arkansas is the 10.
Arkansas is the 10. They play Texas Tech. Then we have another 3-2 in Kentucky, Tennessee. A 1-4 in Houston and Purdue. A 6-2 in BYU, Bama. And a 1-4 in Arizona.
It's got to be the chalkiest
NCAA
tournament in a long time.
I don't say this in a negative, derogatory light. This is very similar to what the women's bracket tends to look like.
Well, and also, you're going to see the best teams.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. You love to see upsets. You love to see...
But we saw it a couple years ago. Mount St. Mary's goes in and gets obliterated in, was it the Elite 8 or the Sweet 6? They win the round of 32, and then they go and get 30-piece.
And for Illinois fans, they looked awful the other night. Kentucky looked like Kentucky.
Yep. Mark Pope finally got the monkey off his back, got his postseason win. Kind of a win-win for the Mark Pope and the BYU faithful because they're playing in the Sweet 16.
Wisconsin. I was wanting Wisconsin to win that game. I'm just not a fan of BYU.
Yeah, I get it. I just also don't like Wisconsin very much.
Well,
so yeah, we had Colorado State knocking off Memphis and then getting as close to possible with Maryland.
That was a travel. I know you don't want to call it. I'm not saying to call it, but that was a travel.
And
maybe I had money on it. We don't have to talk about that. But
here's the thing: when we watched it in real time, because we sat there and watched it together,
you can't.
No one thought it was.
You can't
and then
call
you watch
it
in
because
slowed down slow-mo replay, and everybody's like, "Oh wait, that might have been." I think if you don't catch it, or if it doesn't,
it's tough to call in the moment, and you don't want a game to end like that, especially because we haven't really had any moments like that in the tournament just yet.
Yep.
So it was a cool moment. It was probably the best game of the day. That's the problem with some of these games are, with a lot of the higher seeds winning, is there's been a lot of blowouts.
Yeah, there has. I mean, and not even like crazy blowout, but a lot of like 15 to 21 point wins.
Or you have bad games like Arkansas, St. John's, where I think they went like 4 for 42 from the 3-point line,
and it was still a 9-point game.
Yeah, it really has. It's probably been the least exciting NCAA tournament in many years.
Which is crazy because when we were recording this last week was the first four, and we watched Alabama State.
That game has had the best finish until Maryland.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
But it's cool because in the Maryland game you had Colorado State had a moment, and then Maryland had a moment, and that kind of made it more exciting because yesterday's game sucked.
Yeah. Even Michigan got the business. I mean, they got everything from UC San Diego. They ended up being a 3-point game. I mean, a team that was in their first year of eligibility to be in
and there wasn't like any 16 seeds that were close.
Yeah.
15 or 14 really.
20 was the closest, I think.
Yeah, it's been a not fun tournament, but I think at the end of it, it'll make a great tournament.
Yes.
You'll get the good teams. And I don't know who can stop Duke. That team, it looks unbelievable. Florida also looks really good. All number 1 seeds move on to the Sweet 16.
And I know what you're going to say. Florida barely beat an 8 seed. That 8 seed happened to have won the last 2 national championships.
I think they were the 9 seed.
They were the 8 seed.
Oh, they were the 8 seed.
Oklahoma was the 9 seed.
Sorry.
You're good. But that's still a good win. Florida did not play good for 35 minutes.
If you're going to win the tournament, you're going to be tested.
Yes.
It was a good test for them. They won. Dan Hurley, maybe the most annoying coach in Crybaby, but you need that in a way.
He's a villain, and
everyone needs the villain. In a way, it's fun, but if you're like a fan of the opposing team, it can be very annoying because he can't just lose a game.
Yeah.
But he has also won the last 2 championships. You can say whatever he wants. You want villains like that in college basketball.
Exactly.
But you don't want too many.
Yeah, you can't have everybody.
You don't need every
like
coach complaining after a game.
And you need the rivalries. You need like the Patino and the Calipari rivalry they won't say they hate each other, but we know they hate each other.
Yeah, they secretly hate each other, but also they hate each other. That's fun to see. Calipari moving on with Arkansas in his first year there.
I think I like Arkansas.
I do too.
I think I like Cal now.
I always want the Cinderella story, and they are the closest to a Cinderella story we're going to get.
They're the highest seed we got left. So let's do this. Let's go down the games. We'll knock down from our Sweet 16 to our Elite 8. We'll pick our Final 4. So, Zach, you've got Auburn and Michigan. Who you got?
I think Michigan.
Ooh.
I think Michigan is on a tear right now. They won the Big Ten tournament. They were tested in the first game, which I think every team needs.
Yep.
And it kind of scares you a little bit. And I think that I like Auburn, but they've also been put in spots, too, where they haven't made it.
Did not look great.
And I think of all the 1 seeds, they are the worst. They came in losing
it's
3 or 4.
They were the highest. They're the overall ones.
Yeah, but they lost 3 or 4 going into it, and you don't want to do that going into a tournament. And Michigan, on the other end, has not lost in a long time.
Yep.
So I think Michigan in that one.
Ole Miss, Michigan State.
I think Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is playing well. Chris Beard has got that team playing well. And I get tired of Michigan State sometimes, too.
Yeah.
It seems like Izzo is there every year.
Yeah, that's just how good he is, though.
He is very good, and it's pretty crazy. Jason Richardson won a championship with Izzo.
And
his son is now
yeah.
on the team. So that is how long
The guy's
Tom
been there
Izzo has
for
been
30
there.
plus years. He's a legend.
Me and my dad looked it up. The Baylor coach, he's been there since like 2003.
No, that's not true.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I will look that up. I thought this is a different guy. Scott Drew, has he been there that long?
I could be wrong.
Oh, you're right. I was thinking there was a different coach in there when there was some.
That's football. That's football.
Yeah, you're right. He was
I did not realize
he was
that.
at Valpo before that, right over in
22
Indiana.
years at a college nowadays is insane.
Crazy.
How quickly teams
I
get rid of
apologize.
coaches.
You were right.
Look at Texas. They made the tournament last year, made it to the playing game, got rid of the guy.
Bye. Yep, absolutely. I will go. See, I think Auburn's going to win. I think the SEC is just too dominant.
I'm tired of the SEC.
See, as a Florida fan, I got to play But in the same breath, I think Izzo's going to take care of business. So I've got the exact opposite of you.
Wisconsin was the first Big Ten team to lose in the tournament.
Well, yeah, I would argue about the SEC, but they had 14 teams.
No, but I'm just saying they were 8-0 going into that, or 9-0, and they were the first team to lose.
Moving down, Florida and Maryland.
I think Florida's unbeatable right now, and Maryland barely getting by Colorado State. A lot of hype going into the game off of that game winner. I just don't think they can redo it.
Texas Tech, Arkansas.
I love Arkansas. I think Arkansas.
Yes.
For this tournament, you need Arkansas.
Yeah.
You need a Cinderella type story. You need John Calipari, who is like him or love him. He is
Or hate him.
Oh yeah,
You said
sorry.
like him or love him. You have no other options, people.
You have to like him or love him. No, you love him or hate him. Good catch there. He's one of the best of all time.
Exactly.
And going from Kentucky to Arkansas, people say, "What are you doing? Why would you do that? That's crazy." But guess what?
It worked.
And you got to see Arkansas, Kentucky at some point in this tournament. That would be amazing.
The only way that would happen
yeah.
is the championship,
Which
which
would be
isn't going to
amazing.
happen. But I will take Arkansas as well. I think
They should have made that happen.
Yeah.
I know that they can't do this, but
they should have put Arkansas as the 10 seed against UCLA.
Yeah,
and then
you have to let
play.
storylines play out here.
Yep, I agree. I will take Florida, obviously, and then I am also going to take Arkansas.
I'm not that impressed by Texas Tech either.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't know how much I watched in this weekend. Maybe just kind of flipping back and forth. Let's go up to the top right of the bracket in the East. Duke, Arizona. I want to say Duke all day, but Arizona looked phenomenal last night.
I know, but Duke is just unbelievable. Cooper Flagg, who he didn't even really need to play these last two games, has played well. And just overall, that team is amazing.
All right, so are they going to get BYU or Alabama? I know you hate BYU, so
I think Alabama.
See, all right, so we're in the same page. I've got Duke and Alabama, but we'll wait till we get to the Elite Eight matchup to talk.
Well, yeah, but I think Alabama can stop BYU because BYU shoots a lot.
Yeah.
They have great defense, and I just think down low you can't stop Alabama.
I agree. I think they just got too much. They're, I think, second in the country.
And
in
Nado's a
tempo.
great coach.
Yep.
Also one of those coaches that is like a name that you hear a lot.
Big time. Houston and Purdue as we move to the bottom right of the Midwest. Hot take. Purdue.
I think Purdue,
Let's
too.
go Boilermakers.
I'm not that impressed with Houston.
Yeah,
I think if they were at the 1 seed, they would be done by now.
Yeah, they only beat Gonzaga by 5.
And not that great of a Gonzaga team. I know they won their conference tournament, but they were ranked second behind St. Mary's.
Yeah.
They
did blow Georgia's doors off.
I'm not impressed by Houston or Auburn as the two number 1 seeds.
And then last one, Kentucky, Tennessee. That's a great rivalry to have in the Sweet 16.
I think Tennessee.
See,
Tennessee's good. Huh? Well, if you want to see the Arkansas, Kentucky, we're going to have to keep them winning.
Yeah.
But that's the type of games that you want to see in the tournament.
Yes.
Like those are matchups
That's
that
a
you
great
need
SEC rivalry.
you need to look forward to.
Big time. And the only reason I lean Kentucky is because I felt that they played phenomenal yesterday against Illinois.
If you didn't know it, Kentucky's the third ranked team.
In that,
a number 3 ranked team,
yeah.
sorry. Not like
A 3
third
seed,
overall.
yeah.
A 3 seed. And you would have known that.
I mean, let's not beat around the bush. I mean, UCLA was not very good, and Tennessee only beat them by 9.
That's the problem with these 1s and 2 seeds is you don't sometimes have hard games until the Sweet 16.
Exactly.
And then it comes right at you.
All right, so let's knock down our Elite Eight to a Final Four. So you've got Michigan and Ole Miss. Who's going to the Final Four?
I think Michigan.
You like Michigan?
Michigan is on fire. They keep it moving. And Ole Miss just kind of maybe running out of steam there.
Yep.
But I think Michigan.
See, and I've got Auburn, Michigan State. I will take Michigan State. Izzo's going to get it done again. He's going to have to go through 2 SEC teams. But I think if anybody has the firepower and the coaching prowess to get it done, it's Thomas Izzo.
Yeah. And they asked him last night after the game, "Are you ready for Ole Miss?" And he's like, "Can I just celebrate this one?"
Yeah.
Also, greatest voice of all time.
Big time. He's always got the gravelly voice.
Constantly has a tired voice.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you coach for 60 years.
Yeah, it's constantly
not
tired.
60, but 50-ish.
I want to say
He's 75.
That's insane.
He's 75. Moving down to the West, so Florida and Arkansas we both have.
I think Florida. I would love to move on Arkansas, but Florida is just...
They're 11 deep.
And they're so tall.
Yeah. And they have a 7'9" guy that's redshirt.
Yeah.
Just wait till we brush the dust off of Olivier Rioux.
I don't think that's going to matter much.
Watch the videos, buddy. Watch the videos.
Yeah, a 7-footer can just... 7'9" guy can put it in the basket.
That's all he's going to do.
When there's defense there, I think that's...
it.
I know this might sound crazy. That's too tall.
That
is too tall.
I used to believe you, and then I saw his workout videos. Kid's the truth.
Yeah, that's a workout video. I want to see him playing games.
He played at IMG Academy. Go look him up.
Well, yeah,
stud.
7'9" in high school. You're gonna dominate.
Bink. Let's see. So we both got Duke and Alabama.
I think Duke. I don't know who's stopping Duke.
Bama.
I don't think so. I think Duke is...
Duke hasn't played anybody. In the regular season, their conference stinks. Okay, they played people early in the season back in November. Oh, that Kansas win looks great now. They got bounced.
Yeah, Alabama has played Auburn, played some tough teams and stuff.
Yeah,
but I just think that Duke is unstoppable right now. If you watch the games, top to bottom, they are unbelievable.
I don't disagree.
Their starting five could get drafted.
They're not tested.
Their starting five might get drafted top 10.
Yeah, that's a very good possibility. But they have not been tested since. And everybody's, they played at Illinois in February. Illinois had like a case of like the swine flu or something going around. They wouldn't even shake hands with Duke because Illinois was so sick that week.
I hate to be
this way. It's not a win. It's not a good win.
I think Illinois was a little overrated.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you play that many young, inexperienced guys.
Well, I think the Big Ten kind of hurt itself.
Yes, it cannibalized
There were so many
itself.
teams that were average that you couldn't tell who was the best.
Yes, I agree. So we both. So I have Purdue, Kentucky. You have Purdue, Tennessee. Who are you taking out of that?
I'm taking Kentucky. I think Kentucky is poised
you
to
Tennessee.
make the Final Four. Oh, sorry.
I picked Kentucky.
Right, as much as I'm good at this picking stuff.
Well, in your defense, the bracket's only pulled up over here.
I'll take Tennessee. Pretend like I was talking about Tennessee when I said Kentucky. And I don't like Purdue.
I got Purdue.
I'm just not a fan of Purdue.
I think
Purdue, in big games, usually doesn't come out on the right side.
The only reason I say this is because the last couple of years that Purdue has slipped up, they have been the favorite. They've been the top dog. They are coming into this game with the pressure is not on them anymore. The pressure is going to be on Houston. It's going to be on whoever comes out of the Kentucky-Tennessee game. The pressure is off. They can just run Painter's stuff. They're going to bleed you to death. I like Purdue in this one. So my Final Four, I've got Michigan State, Florida, Alabama, and Purdue. So 2 Big Ten, 2 SECs. I don't hate it.
Do you remember mine?
Yours was Michigan, Florida, Duke,
and Tennessee. I think, though, we're going to see some great games over the next 2 weekends.
Oh, couldn't agree more.
Like I said, you always want those Cinderella stories, but sometimes, like once they get to the Sweet 16 and stuff, it kind of takes away from the game every once in a while because then it becomes a blowout. I think these are the best of the best.
Oh, couldn't agree more. It's going to be an insane couple weeks here.
Yeah.
So what, we got 2 weeks left? 2 weekends.
Starting Thursday.
Yep.
Thursday through Sunday. You're going to see some great games. I don't know how the only problem is now, you get so used to having like 3 games on at one time.
Yeah.
Watching one at a time.
Even on Sunday when you came over and watched games, we had like 1, maybe 2 max.
Well,
Like Thursday and
I
Friday.
have a
we're
problem
zipping
with
between them.
the second round. They
Yeah,
don't
they force
schedule it right.
everything. Yeah.
They put like one game at 1, one game at like 3, another at 4, and then a bunch of games at nighttime.
Yeah, I agree. Well, that's all we got on college hoops, so let us know who you guys got in the Final Four. We're going to wrap things up here with our TCF Top 3, and we are going to do the NCAA Tournament legendary players, our March Madness legends. Kind of go anywhere with this. A little open-ended. You want to go first? You want me to?
I'll go first.
I know who you're going with.
Michael Jordan.
Oh, not who I thought you were going with.
Michael Jordan, you didn't really know Michael Jordan that well in college until he won the championship with North Carolina.
Yeah.
And he hit the game winner. I think that really, he still wasn't Michael Jordan then.
Yep.
But that was the start of Michael Jordan.
That's fair. That's a good pick. My first round pick, I think, is an easy one for me, even though my Florida Gators ended his college career. Jimmer Fredette.
Yeah.
I think he averaged over 30 in the NCAA tournament.
If we were taking a team, you'd take that Florida team.
Oh, those, yeah.
But you can't really take one player from that team.
And if I would, I'll bring it up in honorable mention.
Yeah.
My second pick, I got to do it. I hate Duke, but Christian Laettner, that's one of the most iconic shots of all time. I mean, when you hear Christian Laettner, you think of that grainy video. It catches, shimmies, turns, and buries it.
They did a whole 30 for 30 series.
Yeah, exactly. So, I hate doing it because I don't like Christian Laettner, but I think that's got to be the pick.
I'm going to go with Kemba Walker.
Oh.
Kemba Walker from the Big East tournament into the NCAA tournament had a run that I think got him drafted, and then he became a great NBA player.
Yep.
Kemba Walker, the step back in the... I mean, we're talking March. That's still the conference tournament, too, when they went on that run.
Yep.
And then into the tournament. That was one of the most fun games to watch when they were going crazy. I think
that's a good
was
pick.
he on the team that played Syracuse in the multiple overtime?
Yeah, the 6 overtime game.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain that was.
That may be the greatest.
I remember watching
basketball
that game.
game of
I will
all
never
time.
forget that game. I will never forget watching that one. Who's your third rounder?
You know, I'm going to go with Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson was a great player. I was going to maybe pick Bill Walton, but I'm going to go with Magic Johnson because
Walton won 4 titles, didn't he?
Yeah. But that team was just unreal.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson, though, it started Magic Johnson, just like Michael Jordan. I think that really started the what would you say,
like the mystique of the NCAA tournament.
Yeah,
really. Like
him
the
versus
big
Larry
rivalry,
Bird against Indiana State. Michigan State became that team. They really weren't that program before.
For sure.
And when you win a championship like that, and then you go on to have that NBA career, that makes you a legend.
I agree. My final pick, Carmelo.
Yo,
Carmelo as a true freshman.
I didn't even think about that.
Dragging Syracuse. Him and Jerry McNamara, Hakeem Warwick. A freshman.
Yeah.
Taking the orange to a national title.
That's a great pick.
I can't believe I almost forgot that one. I want to look it up here real quick. 37 points in the round of 32 for Jimmer. He was phenomenal, I think.
And I don't know if anybody watched the BYU-Wisconsin game. They may have showed Jimmer Fredette more than they showed anybody else on the team.
That is fair.
The other night for BYU.
So the one I was thinking of for my honorable mentions, the face of those 2 Florida teams, Joakim Noah.
Yeah.
I believe he was one of the players of the tournament.
And then old school Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bill Walton together.
Yep.
I mean, those were amazing teams.
Lou Alcindor, obviously. Patrick Ewing and those Georgetown teams.
D. Brown, Illinois. Darren Williams, those guys on that.
That's kind of
the
team.
It's more of a team.
Because I could sit here and argue that Luther Head was the best player. You know what I mean? Like that
Sean May,
so deep. Sean May, Tyler Hansborough.
Yeah.
J.J.
Redick. I mean, he was...
Here's one that came to mind. I know they didn't go deep, but this is one for some reason I remember him putting on good performances. Doug McDermott.
Yeah. Adam Morrison.
Yep. Yeah, dude. There's some legends there.
That's one thing we're not really getting this year.
Yeah, and even think about, like, even recently when Villanova won on that buzzer beater. Where's that guy? That guy never really made it to the NBA.
When you think about that Villanova team, they're pretty much all on the New York Knicks.
Yeah, that is true.
But you ever seen that commercial with DiVincenzo?
I don't think I have.
Because he got traded.
Yeah.
And it's like Brunson and Hart.
Oh,
and then they kind of like go back and forth like, oh, here's like, because that is crazy that that whole team almost was on.
Yeah, Mikal Bridges is now there too, which is
But this year you're not getting a player like that. There's no real legends per se.
That is,
because
I never thought of it that
when
way.
you have teams that are probably from 1 to 5, you're usually a full team.
Yeah.
Like, you can say Cooper Flagg, but that's not. You're not. You knew who Cooper Flagg was before that. He's supposed to be the number 1 pick. There really is no player that has just gone crazy.
Yep.
Stats-wise.
Hard to argue with. Let us know who we missed. I'm sure there's a ton that we have missed. Because that is it for us for episode 251. As always, we thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you find us on X, typical_Chicago, Facebook and Instagram. Of course, give those pages a like. Find us on TikTok at Typical Chicago Fan. YouTube. Make sure you subscribe there, Typical Chicago Fans. Hit the red subscribe button wherever you get your podcast. We are there as well. So subscribe, rate, review, 5 stars. Check us out wherever you get your podcast, guys. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF.
Don't forget the TikTok.
That's Typical Chicago Fan, right?
Yeah, Typical Chicago Fan. Boomy does a typical day in history every day.
Yep, I got it queued up right on
He's
that
getting his
tab
video
right there.
editing better and better every day. We're trying to put it on other social media, so if you see it here and there, make sure you check it out. But yeah,
Here,
Boomy,
this is the one for the 25th when this comes out. Might use this, might not. Here's a fun fact. 1957, March 25th, the NBA modifies the free throw rule. Very interesting. Probably won't use that because it's not Chicago-centric, but I'll find
So
something.
that means
guys.
there wasn't a free throw?
I'll have to look up. That's just the start of my research. There was free throws. There was just, I think you couldn't cross the line.
But see, this is details you will get more into
Typical Chicago Fan on TikTok.
on the typical day in history.
Typical day in history, yes, sir. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF. Of course, Zach over here at ZLilia TCF. Thank you guys, as always, for joining us. We will be back next week. That was episode 251 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.